This improv story is based on the idea a man goes to an antique shop, like the story commence. Craig was walking by an antique shop that he'd walked past all the time. And he thought, what's this all about anyway? You see, recently he noticed that Ringo Starr had been doing NFTs and people had been arguing about it and the effects it has on the environment, and people are arguing against it, and people are saying it's not that bad, and people are saying that, oh, it is that bad, and talking about art, there's other ways of getting art, and talking about the value. What's the point in buying something that isn't worth something? It's stuff that isn't even worth anything, and then people say, well, what's art? What's art? What's an antique? And things like that. What's the point in buying something, something being valued? I just spat in the mic here because I'm passionate about this. That's that Ringo Starr thing. Sorry. What's the point in buying an old thing because it's old? Oh, this is old, so it's worth more. How? Why? Why? Nothing really makes sense. So he had that in his mind. He's walking past this antique shop that he always walked past, and he said, I'm gonna go in. Is it antiques? Is it antiques? Is it like in this daft wee fucking shop that's right next to like a fucking greengrocer's? And right next to like some shitey fucking cafe, do they really sell like antiques that you could take on Antiques Roadshow and they go, oh my god, this is worth 50 fucking grand or something? He thought, right, fuck it, I'm going to go in, see what they've got. Because they'll have something cheap. And I want to see, do they have something cheap that's actually like 100 years old? Let's see. So he went in and he's looking about and they had some ornaments and a kind of grandfather clock looking thing. And a kind of glass cabinet with things like cameos, you know, like things that are about that size with a face on it. Looks like a coin, but it's like ivory or some shit like that. It's you know what, with a face silhouette kind of thing, things like that. And then this old guy came out, scared the fuck out of him, went like, "Got something you like, yes?" And Craig went, fucking hell, I didn't see there. And he turned around. And the funny thing is, he was expecting to see this bald guy with a big long beard. This guy actually looked about fucking 18, like he's just at a fucking school or something. He looked like he wouldn't get served. He looked like he might get served for alcohol, but he might know. You know, kinda looks like he wouldn't grow a full beard. You know, it'd be bum fluff. Yeah, he spoke like that. And it's not like, oh, I know, but he's one of these sort of toffs that wear like the you know, the blazers with the patches and all that sort of stuff. No, like, you know, like he's been brought up to speak like that. No, he had like fucking joggies on, hoodie, and trainers and that. And went, oh, sorry, do you work here? Yes. Something you like? And Craig went, I just walked past it. I've not. You definitely work here, aye? Yes, for the third time. Yes. You're losing your hearing, man. It's just that, aye, right. I walked past here. I've never, you know, I've watched things at Antiques Roadshow and things like that, but I've never actually known about antiques, and I just thought I'll keep walking past here. And sorry, what age are you? Can I ask you what age you? It's none of your business, fellow. It's none of your business, my fellow. Do you want to buy something? Do you want to find out how old these artifacts are? These art pieces and so on? Do you want to find out how old I am? This is the first. Penelope! Oh, she must have gone upstairs. This cunt honestly look like 18. Hoodie and all that. Alright, well, I've known about antiques. I don't mean I know about antiques. I mean I've known of antiques and I've walked past, and I've never actually known what they are. And is there like a rule for antiques? And
What you on about, my fellow?
is there like an antique must be like 100 years old or something? That
No, those antiques about the Second World War, and that's not 100 years ago.
all right. I didn't know that was an antique. I didn't know you would regard something for.
Well, it's very subjective, actually. It's a very interesting question. I have some colleagues that I've met who would disagree with me, and it's hard to say who's right. Suppose both are. No, we've quite agreed on what an antique is. You could look in the dictionary and find some sort of definition there, but one should not just only go by the dictionary. Who decides what goes in the dictionary, you know? But to answer your question, this has to be old. It has to be old. That's the absolute essential. It can't just be from 5 years ago. Minimum age. It's very difficult. Perhaps you should look at some and you can decide for yourself.
Right. Well, what's this? What's this thing here? It's like a kind of. And Craig said silhouette. He thought I'm kind of clever. I know this means. I know it's a silhouette, something that's like that, and it's not got any sort of detail. It's just like the kind of outline. What's that sort of thing? It's like kind of
Oh, the cameo.
a cameo.
Yes, these were small art pieces that would be made for the face quite a while ago. They were kind of portraits in profile. And it would be made from, it could be made from sometimes ivory, which you can't really get away with these days, because of course ivory comes from elephant tusk and so on, sometimes rhino, this other thing.
And not cameo. Craig went cameo. So it's called a cameo. Right. Do you know about the band Cameo?
I'm not up to speed with today's pop fashions.
No, they're for the 80s. They were a kind of American sort of band. It's a big, the guy, kind of tall guy with flat fucking hair like that, flat and red codpiece. Word up, word up.
Don't sing! Don't sing, my fellow! Not in here!
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm not up to speed with today's fashion.
Sorry, what age are you again?
Yes, keep asking this question. What age I am? What relevant is it got, fellow?
It's just that you're talking as if you're not up to speed with the young people's stuff. It's not actually that young, but I'm just saying, you look quite young yourself.
I'm not young at all. I suppose I'm young compared to some people. I'm young compared to, say, our Lord Jesus Christ.
And Craig went like that. Are you old? And the guy went,
What do you mean?
you look, if you don't mind me saying, and I don't know if it's the lighting or something, or just the clothes you wear, but you look like about 18, 17 even.
My fellow, my fellow. I'm a tad more than 17.
What age are you?
I'm 170.
What?
Would you like to know the secret?
Yes.
Come with me.
And the old guy took Craig round the back of the place. It was all dusty. Cobwebs. And there was a painting of an old man. And Craig went, wait a minute. Are you? Is this no? Is this no like one of the? Is there no like a Oscar Wilde sort? Is this no? I mean, I've not actually read it, but is this no like so? You know, as the painting gets on, as you get as the painting gets just then, Craig got stabbed in his shoulder. Went ah, and then stabbed a few times. And then Craig, as he was dying, got sort of dragged round the back and into a cupboard and got chucked into a cupboard. And there was an old cunt in there. And Craig went, are you the actual owner? And you're like, he's just some fucking cunt putting on your voice and pretending to be old. But he's actually just some cunt off the street who's robbing the place and has actually stabbed you and put on a voice, and I fell for it. And the old guy went like, yes, my fellow. Because he had stab wounds as well. And then about half an hour later, there was another person that got brought in and dumped on Craig. Craig might have survived, but he was getting crushed. Bodies piled up about 10 high. And then once the bodies were all packed in, all the way up to the door, or the whole height of the door, packed into this wee cupboard, the old guy who was actually young, he was actually just some wee guy off the street, pissed on the lot of them. Pissed on the lot up and down. And then just started stabbing randomly. Finished them off. Squeezed the door shut. Poured petrol through the wee keyhole and set them on fire. And Chris, I bet there's asking, why did he hate singing so much? I need to know. And as a wee epilogue, oh, that's the end, by the way, that's it. He went away with about 350 quid. And the reason why he didn't like, the reason why we're like, don't sing it here, my fellow, is because that was the wee 17-year-old's idea of what an old, kind of older guy would be like. Especially somebody who was some sort of upper crust sort of fucking society. You know, you don't sing in an antiques place the way you don't like shout in a library, that kind of thing. Okay. Now, there's a wee twist. That was actually a true story. That happened. How do I know? See that guy with the hoodie? The one that killed everybody? That was me. And I have never been more ashamed to tell this story. That was me. It's no me anymore. That is no me. When I was 17, I really went off the fucking rails. I'm not that person. I'm not the person I was 5 years ago. I'm not the person I was 10 years ago. I certainly wasn't the person. I'm certainly not the person I was when I was 17. And this is absolutely, one sentence, the most humble day of my life.